Hello, Jen Taylor Consulting. Happy almost end of May. My God, what just happened? There we go. I think I am going. I'm gonna see if I can see comments. Nothing yet, but that's okay. So you've heard me talk about who I am, what I do. You've heard me talk about business mapping systems, and you're like, okay, whatever. Now it's about starting to create your standard operating procedures. If you don't already have them, you should. And why is that? Is because the most dramatic one is if you get hit by a bus, someone can take over your business. But the least dramatic ones are you're able to get everything down on paper. So at one point or another, whether you're hiring to your company or you're outsourcing bookkeeping, social media, um, virtual assistant type stuff, you're able to write down what you have and how do you do your business, because at the end of the day, my business is going to be different than somebody else's business. I may hire the same VA, but the way I do it might be different the way you do it, and that's really important on how you do business. So I always start off with workflows. It's not necessarily everybody. So what is a workflow? I have the definition in the comments, or not in the comments, in the header. And it's a series of tasks or activities that need to be completed sequentially, in order, or in parallel to achieve a business outcome. So how I do this with my clients is, let's see, okay, there we go. I can do this. I'm good. How I do this is I start off with I start off with tasks. How do you do a task? And I break those tasks down into daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. So you have 5 areas that you need to sit down and say, okay, what do I do daily? What I do weekly, what I do monthly, and what I do yearly, quarterly, and yearly. So then from there, you sit down and go, okay, what do I do every day? And you're like, I don't know what I do every day. Well, take a piece of paper out. This is a great tool to do to find out, one, are you wasting time on things that you don't need to be doing? And 2, how much do you really spend on your business versus your clients? I did this once when I worked on my clients. I wrote down, okay, this is what I did during this time. And I just had a basic Excel spreadsheet that I created, time in, time out. This is basically a timesheet and what I did for that person. So daily, and I've got a small business task list that I'll be adding to the list here after I'm done. So financially, there's a whole list of financial questions. Make note of incoming and outgoing payments. You may not do this daily. This is just with these tasks, I will say they're always suggestions. You may say, you know what? I do my financials on a weekly basis. I don't need to go in there on an everyday basis. That's what I do. But, that is something to look at. Operations is another section you do on a daily basis. Under operations, I have marketing, which could be social media. You could make it under anything, but I have it under operations. And it's review and comment on social media. That is a daily task. What else do you do daily for your business that you can add to that list? For me, it's reviewing Trello boards. It's reviewing where I'm at. It's reviewing my own social media and reviewing what I'm doing for my clients and for my business operationally. So I have a full list of that. And then customer service. Because operations is not always customer service. It's not always clients. Customer services for that is follow up with current and potential clients. Do you have a list of, did you meet with somebody last week and you need to follow up with them to say, hey, how's that proposal looking? Can I answer any questions? Is there anything that you'd like to change or you think needs to be changed? Things like that. Follow up on a contract. Follow up on something that's due back to you. Hey, I'm waiting for just a reminder, because at the end of the week, we're getting, today's Thursday. So tomorrow, we're like, okay, I want to kind of wrap up things. So you could put in there on a weekly basis. That's where I'm going to next. On a weekly basis, I'm going to follow up with these people. So that's kind of where I want you to start thinking. So weekly, again, if you're not doing financials on a daily basis, you're definitely doing them on a weekly basis. So is there a forecast that you need to follow? Is there any bills that need to be paid? I'll talk about mine in a minute. Is there anything that needs to be done financially? Do you need to upload into QuickBooks? Do you need to send something to your bookkeeper? Do you do profit first? If so, you do this twice a month. So it's in between that weekly and monthly is like the 25th is coming up. So that is something that I'll do next week. Okay, profit first day is the 10th and the 25th. I'm going to work on what I need to do for that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So you start writing these things down. It's not just looking at a sheet of paper going, okay, I did that. It's like, okay, this is what I do every week, every month, every quarter, every year. And then you start growing and we'll talk about this more, like how do you then start, though it doesn't look like a checklist. So then operations, weekly, do you file? And of course you plan for the upcoming week. Do you have projects that you need to get done? That's kind of that operations is the working on your business. So what does that look like for you? And then customer service. Sorry. Drives me crazy there we go. Is there any customer service response that you need to, any concerns going with your clients, anything that's about ready to explode? Onboarding new clients. I would look at that as a daily and a weekly, depending on where they land. Is there anything you need to plan for the upcoming week to onboard new clients? And is there any clients that are leaving? Are you doing any offboarding? Again, then there's marketing. And I kind of put this back and forth. I right now have it in operations, but I think in the future I will have it as a separate part because they're not the same. They are operations and then there's marketing. So marketing, are there, any videos that you're going to be doing? So do you need to make notes and set up a day? Like I set up a day that I have to put on my makeup and make sure I look presentable. And that's today. And so any videos that I need to do, I need to be prepared for. So what videos do I need to do? Is there any blog posts that I need to write? What does that look like? So that's kind of where I'm trying to get you to think. Monthly. Again, if you're doing profit first, you're doing this twice a month. But on the first of the month, I get paid. So I have one payday at this point. I don't want to have multiple paydays. Eventually, maybe I'll do a second one. But right now, I want everybody to pay me on the first of every month. And I want to pay most of my bills on the first of every month. So it becomes the first or second, depending on when it falls, or the third. I sit down and I do all of my banking. And that's the beginning of the month. Because I get paid and then I pay out. So, and then on the 10th, I finish up whatever I need to do for profit first. It really becomes closer to the 10th or the 11th now that I do profit first. So that's kind of where I'm at. Do you pay your client? When do you pay your employees? I paid them as soon as I got paid. Like I just started profit first, so this is a new concept. But prior, what I did is I got all the payments coming in on the first. I had to wait till they got into my bank. So that's usually 2 or 3 days, depending on when it is. And then, but I wrote all the checks out on the first. Like I knew how much each employee was going to get for that month. So I wrote out their checks, made sure everything balanced it out. We were good. And then I was done. So as I said, I'd make sure I have all my stuff is is due on the first. I try to make all of my payments the first of the month. And then when I had employees, I made sure they were paid at the first of the month. So then I'm done. Like, I was kind of done. I might check again later in the month. Now I do, but in the past, I was just like, I've paid, I've received, and I've given, and I'm done. So that's kind of what I do. And that's, again, you may do something different, but again, it's that process. It's that workflow of how do I receive, how do I do accounts payable, how I do accounts receivable, and then how do I do payroll? Those are kind of your things. And whether you add another task section in there saying twice a month, you can do that. Operations. Any new, kind of review your technology, review your systems. What is working? What is not? Is there something that's coming due in the future? Like I have in my calendar when things are up, like coming up, do I have, I've got I use Hotstock, Haute, which is a all the photos, all the pretty pictures you see. I have a subscription to that. I was going to cancel, and I thought I did, but I didn't. So now I'm up for another year. So on my calendar, I have when that's due. And I have it done the month before, so I know. So I look at my calendar. Is there anything that I don't want to renew? Make sure that gets canceled. Is there anything I'm looking at that I may want to test out and have a test thing? They give you the 30 days or 10 days or whatever days to review a software system. Okay, well, do I want to look at, Slack? Do I want to look at Infusionsoft or Keep? Or do I want to look at, what's another one? Not really Basecamp, but I want to look at Asana, things like that. What are the things that you're looking at? They're like, is this a good time to do that? Again, marketing. What's your marketing plan for this upcoming month? What does that look like? Or maybe you're looking another month out. Maybe you're not looking at, we're coming into June. Maybe June's already done. You're like, June's done, put to bed. I'm good. I'm now looking at July. So then, look at that month that you're looking at. Schedule your social media if you don't already have somebody doing that for you. Get your blogs already scheduled. Get your videos scheduled. Write notes to your favorite professionals. That was one thing that we loved to do, was to write actual handwritten notes to our favorite professionals and just saying, hey, I'm just thinking about you. Enjoy the, especially now and in the past in the wedding industry, we'd be just about ready to start the crazy season. So this is where you just reach out and say, hey guys, just touching base, and maybe, a gift card or, a box of goodies and things like that. So what are you, what's that look like for you? Do you do that for your clients? Again, do you do that on a monthly basis? And then set up time to have coffee dates. I mean, we're going to be able to do that soon. And if not, you can at least do it virtually. And so, which might be even better, because then no one has to go. I mean, traffic is getting bad. Traffic is not pretty. So we're back to that. So, we might be going, you know what? I love to see you in person, but I'd rather have this in the privacy of my own home and not deal with the traffic. So, but this is a great time, the month, at the beginning of the month or the end of the month, for the next month is a great time to think about, what am I doing? What do I want to do in my business? And what's my workflow around that? And then quarterly, here we are. We just finished a quarter. Yes, we did. Like, where are we at? We had to pay our taxes the end of April. So we're right in the second month of the quarter. So are you prepping for the end of this quarter? We're coming up to the end of Q2. Like, I just got a note from my PR people going, hey, here's our thing for Q3. I'm like, Q3? Where are we at? I'm like, holy cow, we're already in the middle of, we just have, we're only have a month left of Q2. Wow. So anyway, what do you do? What are you looking at? How does everything look? Are you looking good? Do you need to look at other options? For other things? Do you need to make a tax payment? Both state and at the federal level. I know the 15th of June was always an estimated tax date. So are you ready for that? Are you prepared for that? Do you have everything financially set to make those payments? Are you like, oh, there's something I can pay quarterly? I think it's every quarter. I think you can do quarterly payments. We paid in the past. I did my quarterly or my estimated payments, and they were like the June or January. You had one due. Then you had the April one if we owed anything else, June, and then so there's like four or five payments we paid. So then for the upcoming tax year, so I'd be paying for 2021 during 2021. So at least at the federal level, the state level, I'm just paying as I go each quarter. I'm not having a huge bill at the end of the year. So again, look at that. As I said, state taxes, federal taxes. If you do that, look at your profit and loss. Are you good? Do you need to up your forecast? Do you need to, I'm rocking it, or I'm like, oh, I need to kind of get out there. So where are you at? This is a good time to look at it on a quarterly basis. Operations wise, who doesn't love to look at their office supplies? I won't show you mine. Review your content calendar for the next 6 months. We're getting to the point where we're halfway through the year. So what does the rest of the year look like in your content calendar? Are you still happy with it? Or you're like, you know what, with things going on, and it's a good time to do it on a quarterly basis because you're going to be able to see what's going on in your business and what's going on in the world. Like, do I need to tweak this a little bit to reflect more of what's going on? Marketing, review your ads, whether it's Facebook, whether it's print, whether it's online, Google ads, things like that. Review your Google Analytics. What's your key performance indicators around that? Do you have some? Again, write notes to your favorite, so I said we had a monthly list. We also had and the monthly was more like, here's the events we did each month, and we would write out to them. On a quarterly, we would have a list of here's all of our favorite vendors. We may not work with them on a regular basis, but we still want to touch base with them. So again, what's that look like? Customer service, any vendor thank you notes. Again, that can go into marketing or it can go into customer service. Any clients that are leaving, a note, boxes, gifts, whatever. Any vendor gifts, things like that. They kind of go into marketing, customer service. They all kind of blend in together on that when it comes to this part. HR. This is the first time I've talked about HR. Is it time for a monthly review or a quarterly review or an annual review? This is something looking at your employees. Where do they land? Do you need to recruit anybody coming up? You're looking at that upcoming quarter going, we're gonna have a heavy quarter. Do we need to hire somebody? Especially now, are you bringing more people on? What does that look like for you? Administer any compensations. Do you have any quarterly comps that need to go out? And then do you need to review your review staff needs? Again, do you need to hire, fire, update job descriptions, review all of that? Review your onboarding and your I won't say client. Review your hiring, onboarding, hiring, training, things like that. Is that still in line with what you're doing? It's a good time to review that. Yearly, it's a whole mess of stuff, and you know it. Make sure the 1099s are out by the end of January. Make sure your books are up to date. Make sure if you have an accountant, make sure they have everything. And then do your taxes. That's end of story. Operations, is there any updates to contracts? Do you review your pricing? Is there any reviews to your process and procedures? You'll hear me along the way talk about, I want you to look at your process and procedures throughout the year. You're going to do them on a date. You're going to do them. They are what you do in your business. But I want you to review them definitely at the end of the year for things that you're like, you know what, this did not work as, what I tell my clients is you're doing your process and procedures. If something doesn't look right or something, you're like doing it and you're like meeting with a client or you're doing something, you're like, wow, I don't like the way this flows. Is it something you need to change instantaneously? Is it something that's harmful? Is it something that is detrimental to your business that could be detrimental to your business? Or is it something you're like, you know what, this can wait? So you may want to write in your book when you get back from that client meeting or that client project and go, this needs to be updated. And then at the end of the year, you go through that and say, okay, these all the things that need to be updated. If it's something that needs to be updated now, then update it. But if there's little things that along the way are like, you know what, it's fine, but I need to update this for later. Like, I need to make these changes. Review your pricing. I reviewed my pricing twice a year. Once, so you'll hear me talk a lot about the wedding industry because I was there for half my life. But I reviewed it twice. I reviewed it once at the end of hiring season. So let's just say, like, right now would be the time that I would, like, you may still get some stragglers for, this. I'm not gonna, this year's a complete mess. The next 2 years will be, but let's just say this is a normal year. Nothing's happened. We've gone back in time. We're in 2019. I would review my pricing right now going forward for clients that are going to be booking in the next year. So if I have somebody coming in late for that year, they're going to get my new pricing. So I'll look at that, do that. Then beginning of the year, I'd look at it again. Am I good? Am I booking the way I want to book? Or do I need to change it? Do I need to go up? Am I booking way more than I think I'm booking? So the price can go up, or am I not booking enough? So do I need to go down a little bit? Like, pricing strategy is there's no, as we all know, there's no hard and fast rule. It is like, what is it? What's the group demand of it? What's the demand and what's that cost look like? They go together. So then at the beginning of the year, I look at it again, because guess what? You're going to get a ton of people that get engaged during the holidays. So I always go, okay, this is the time to look at it. And do I need to change it? As I said, review process and procedures. Review any contracts. Is there anything in your contracts that you're like, I need to take this out, or I need to add it? And if you haven't already done so, this is the time to do it. As I said, I make a ton of notes, even on the sheet I'm talking to you off right now. I've got a ton of notes on here, things that I need to update and change. And that's just, I look at it, go, okay, this is something that I will do at the end of the year. Or if I go, maybe I'll do it now. So that's the time to be thinking about these things. Customer service, again, is review any onboarding or offboarding processes. Is that still good? Review your CRM system. Review all of that. Is that workflow still working for you within that system? Is the email still going out? Is everything still working according to plan? End of year client notes. Marketing, create your yearly plan. What's your year look like for the next year? Review your social media accounts. What's going on? Do you want to add something? Do you want to drop something? Do you want to bring on somebody to help you with this? Are you changing systems on how you schedule? Things like that. Website. Great time to review your website. What's going on? All the links work? Everything going well? Everything working? Is there something you need to change? This is the time to do it. And then mission, vision, and values. This is a great time to go back and say, one, do I have missions and visions and values? If you don't, let me know. And two, is it something that did I have a life change? Did I have a lifestyle change? So I need to review this and go, okay, this is not how I want to do my business anymore. I want to change it. This is the time. And then HR. If you have employees, year-end review, see about raises, review the employee handbook. And if you don't have an employee handbook, again, reach out to me. Review org chart and job descriptions. What is that? Are you still happy with what's going on? Are you looking to hire in the future? If so, then you need to have everything in place. And the end of the year is a great time to do that. And then review your ideal client. I mean, that's a great website and marketing tool. I've got it in HR. They are your ideal client, but it's something to look at, in your marketing and in your website. Are you talking to your ideal client? Is that still your ideal client? This is a great time to do it. So, with that, you will not get the most up to date marketing my small tasks checklist, because I haven't given it off to the designer yet. But I will add what I have out there. It is lovely. It gives you almost everything I've discussed, and I can always add more to this. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I've done some changes. I know we all don't want to do summer camp. I don't want to do summer camp. Like, what was I thinking? I don't want to hang out and be tied down to Facebook and do lives with you guys. Am I crazy? That is part of my mission, vision, and values. Is I want to have some freedom, especially this summer. So I am getting rid of the boot camp. So no one's signed up anyway. And you'll learn that I'm pretty forward with what my thoughts are. And I totally get it. I get it. So you have two options. One is a clarity call. So you can hop on the phone with me. You guys get $100 off that. We have 50 minutes and I send you a questionnaire. We sit down, talk about your business. You record it, and then you have that, and you can move forward with your business and and get some ideas from me. And then finally, the business mapping system, the 8 CEOs in your business. You guys have gotten a screaming deal. You'll get that for $500. And you get 3 meetings with me where we dig deep into your business. And by dig deep, I mean we talk about things that you may not want to talk about with your friends and family. But guess what? We're going to become best friends. And I'm going to be your BFF in your business. And that's the best way to do it, is to get the dirty details on your business, and then how to make your business work for you instead of you always running around working. Your business is working you instead of you working your business. So anyway, everybody have a great rest of your day. I will not see you next week. You get me for 3 weeks a month. Next week, I am going to be hopping in Moonlit Marge, and we're heading over to Squim for the Memorial Day weekend. So again, if there's any questions, any comments, any thoughts, anything, I will see them, list them here. I will answer them, and have everybody have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Bye.